Imagine waking up in a hospital bed with no memory of how you got there. You try to move, but your body refuses to listen. A nurse walks by, but she will not meet your eyes. Your heartbeat races. Your vision flickers. And suddenly you realize something terrifying. You are not sick. You are part of an experiment. This was the reality for dozens of people in one of the darkest secret projects in modern history. A project that the government tried to erase by burning the evidence. A project known as MKUltra. Our story begins in the cold tension of the 1950s. The war had ended, but peace never came. Instead, a new fear spread across the world. The fear of mind control. American soldiers returned from the Korean War acting strangely. Their behavior seemed rewritten, their loyalty shaken. Rumors spread that enemy forces had mastered the ability to brainwash prisoners. Whether the claims were true did not matter. Fear does not wait for proof. Inside the Central Intelligence Agency, a belief took root. If the enemy could control minds, America had to learn how to control minds too. Not to heal, but to dominate. Not to protect, but to manipulate. So the CIA created a secret program that would push science past its limits and morality far beyond its breaking point. This was MKUltra. The project began quietly, hidden behind walls of secrecy. But soon it spread into more than 80 locations. Universities, prisons, hospitals, military bases, everyday places that hid extraordinary horrors. The people targeted were often the most vulnerable. Psychiatric patients, prisoners, addicts, students who trusted their doctors. Many were never told they were subjects, and some never learned until their minds had already been broken. The tools used in the experiments were unpredictable and dangerous. One of the main substances was LSD, a powerful psychedelic. The CIA believed it could weaken the mind and make it easier to control. But instead of using it in controlled environments, agents slipped it into drinks during meetings. They hosted strange parties where guests were drugged without consent. They even opened secret safe houses where prostitutes were paid to lure men and so agents could dose them through hidden vents or drinks. Imagine trusting someone who smiles at you one moment, then waking up on the floor hours later, unable to speak or understand your own thoughts. This happened again and again. One of the most tragic stories is that of Frank Olson. He was a government scientist. During a retreat, his colleagues secretly dosed him with LSD. In the days that followed, Frank's mind began to unravel. He felt watched. He felt hunted. 9 days later, he plunged from a hotel window in New York. The official report called it suicide, but his family spent decades fighting to uncover the truth. Even today, many believe the full story has never been revealed. MKUltra was not only about drugs. It involved sensory deprivation, hypnosis, sleep deprivation, forced confinement, and psychological manipulation. People were locked alone in small rooms for days. Others were strapped down while bright lights flashed endlessly in their eyes. Some were given electric shocks far beyond medical limits. These were not attempts to heal mental illness, but attempts to break the human mind and rebuild it as a tool. Every experiment was done in secret. Every question was silenced. Every life harmed was hidden behind classified files. By the mid-1960s, the program had grown chaotic. Even CIA officials began to fear what had been created. But instead of shutting it down and accepting responsibility, the agency tried something else. Erase the evidence. In 1973, as political pressure increased and scandals shook the government, the CIA director ordered all MKUltra documents destroyed. Thousands of pages of research, testimonies, and experiment logs were burned. They hoped the world would never learn the truth. But fate had other plans. 2 years later, a box of financial records was discovered by accident. These surviving papers exposed enough details to begin a full government investigation. Victims testified. Families demanded answers. The world learned that MKUltra had existed and that countless lives had been shattered in the name of national security. When the final reports came out, the truth was undeniable. The United States government had violated ethical, moral, and legal boundaries in a horrifying way. But because the documents were destroyed, the full story will never be known. Many victims died without answers. Many families never learned what happened to their loved ones. So why tell this story now? Because MKUltra teaches us something important. Fear can drive nations to do terrible things. Secrecy can turn good intentions into nightmares. And when governments believe the end justifies the means, innocent people always pay the price. The rise and fall of MKUltra is not just a story about science. It is a story about power, control, and the human mind. It is a reminder that our minds must remain free, that ethics must guide science, and that no government should ever have the power to rewrite a person's thoughts. History is not meant to be forgotten. It is meant to warn us. And MKUltra stands as one of the clearest warnings of all. Please help me reach my 100 subs target. Thank you, and see you in our next video.